Hey there, it's Rachel here with Senza Tempo Cane Corso, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about something that I see quite frequently being posted in response to people asking me about submissive posture. And it's something that has been a reoccurring topic throughout all my years working with dogs. I get so many people that will respond, like I'll have somebody ask me, hey, when do you know to put your dog in submissive posture? Or, why do you do it? Or just various questions. And then you'll have the inevitable online dog trainer expert who says, well, if you do all the right things, or if you do this and this and that, you'll never have to do that. You'll never have to put your dog in submissive posture. As though submissive posture is a bad thing, as though it's like, well, if you really knew what you were doing, you wouldn't have to do that at all. Or not only you wouldn't have to, but you shouldn't. That if you're a good enough dog trainer that you don't, you shouldn't have to do that. And they say it like it's a bad thing, like it's abusive. And when I used to train dogs, for a living, that's what would happen to me. I would take the dogs out. I remember one time we were working with this really dog aggressive pit bull. I took her to a dog park and I made her lay in submission. I made her lay there calmly the whole time. We just literally sat there, and her whole job the whole time we were there, which isn't very long. I don't like to put dogs under too much pressure. But we sat there for a good 15 minutes, and she had to just lay there. And that was her job. I didn't ask her to interact with the other dogs because that would have been too much for her. The only thing she needed to do was sit there and be calm and lay there in a vulnerable position so that she could understand that these dogs were not going to hurt her, and therefore her aggression was unwarranted and not required. And she needed somebody to assist her in being able to do that. And so that's what we did. And she was laying there being submissive, and the owners we were talking, and they were so happy because she wasn't going and trying to attack all the dogs there. And lo and behold, we get some self-professed expert who comes over and starts telling us that we're abusing this dog. And and she walks over and she's like, what are you doing with this dog? And why do you have her like that right now? Hey, shh, get out of that rock, woman. Psst, hey, what'd I say? You guys need to quit doing this. And so she's like, what are you doing to this dog? Why do you have her like that? And I'm just like, well, she's being trained right now. And she's like, that's abusive. That's psychological abuse. That's wrong. And dogs are not pack animals. And what you're doing is wrong. And blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it wasn't enough for her to have her own opinion and keep it to herself. Maybe she could have went on her Facebook and griped about us or whatever she wanted to do. But no, she had to walk over to us and try to lecture us on how she thought she was right and that we were wrong. And she wouldn't leave us alone. I guess she felt that she was the savior of that dog and that it was her job to sit there and make sure that we, let that dog up or whatever it was. I don't know. And it was really awkward for my clients because they're not dog trainers. They're just people trying to fix their dog. And they're trusting that I know what to do. And here's this random person walking up trying to insinuate that what I'm doing is not only not going to work, but is abusive and outdated. And it didn't matter that my dog was making progress, because when it comes down to it, humans are social animals. And we all feel the need to be accepted by our peers. So when a group of people, or even one really persistent individual, comes up and accuses you of not just doing something wrong, but doing something that is morally wrong, right? That's abusive. It causes people to question what they're doing. Whether or not it's right or wrong, that person's persistence can cause that person to question. And it can even, if I had not been there per se, cause them to do something different than what they were already doing, which may or may not have been less effective, which I would firmly believe is less effective. That woman did not have a good trained dog. Let's just say that. And so you have these people who are giving advice because maybe they saw it on the internet somewhere, and they don't even have dogs as well trained as we are or as we do. Yet most of them think that our dogs are slaves because of it. Like it's a very weird psychological process that these people go through. And that's why I caution all of you that are watching this, do not back down to people who try to make you seem bad because they think they're morally superior. Okay? There's nothing morally superior about using training methods on animals that are not natural to them. Okay? It is better for the animal if you speak to them in their own language. And that's what I teach people to do. Okay, people always compare me to Cesar Millan. Oh, I see Cesar Millan's methods here. No, you don't. Cesar Millan doesn't have any quote unquote methods. He's teaching you to listen and watch the way that dogs interact with each other so that you can mimic those same behaviors. They're not his methods. He watched the way that dogs communicate with one another, and he is, simulating and just repeating those behaviors. That's it. That's all we're doing. Okay. We're speaking to the animals in their own language, watching how they treat each other and doing the same thing back. Monty Roberts, he works with horses. Same thing. A lot of the big, huge, trainers recently that have made lots of progress are people that are using the animals' natural communication methods to train the animals, okay? So it's not rocket science, okay? It's not special. Nobody made it up. Nobody sat in their office and was like, how do I train animals the best? That's not what it is. It's people like me watching and observing, taking the time to sit and watch the way that animals communicate with one another, and then using those same methods to communicate back. There's nothing more natural than that. What is unnatural is thinking that you can take your human words and your human ideology and your human psychology and put it off on a dog and expect it to adapt to your communication, to your training methods. That's unnatural, and that to me is worse than me asking a dog to lay in submission, which is something that they would do to each other. And it's not unnatural for them in the slightest. So you have to don't let those people get to you. They are the loud minority. That's what they are. The loud minority, meaning that they are the few, okay? And if you listen to them, you're not going to make any progress. You might make them feel good, but you're not going to have a better relationship with your dog. If you want to have a better relationship with your dog, speak its language, right? It's if you went to another country, would you have a better relationship with those people if you kept speaking to all of them in English when none of them speak English? Or would it be better if you spoke their native language to them? Do you think that you would have a better communication with them? Absolutely. And that's what we're doing with dogs. We're only asking you to speak in their language. Okay, which isn't really too much to ask considering the fact that we've taken them out of the wild and brought them into our society. So we need to be prepared to do what is necessary to teach them how to be. What'd I say, woman? Woman? What did I say? So we need to be prepared to speak to them on their own level. And if that's too tough for you, if you can't emotionally handle having to treat an animal the way that they treat each other, then don't get one. Go get a cat. You know what I mean? That's what you need, a cat. You can love on it, you can pet it. Good luck training it to do much. You know what I'm saying? Like, go get a cat. Don't get a dog if you can't fathom the idea of having to discipline it. Because that's not the world that dogs live in. Dogs live in a hierarchy, a social hierarchy, just like all social animals that live in groups. And you need to be respectful of that hierarchy, or just don't get one. It's pretty simple. So that's my little rant of the day. I don't even know what that is, but whatever. There it is. Y'all have a good day.